Hey friends! Welcome back, I'm good and you're watching Scope and Spill, where we scope out the drama and spill all the juicy secrets. Meri Brown has been in her TikTok going live with all these different TikTok creators that ick about sister wives and some of them are getting posted onto YouTube. And she recently went live with a creator and was answering questions about the show and about, life after polygamy and what's next in her life and where things stand with her former family members. And in this interview, Meri discussed this concept that fans have said that she still defends Kody Robyn, and Meri proclaimed that she doesn't want to have a divorce where others say things that are mean. She wants to have an amicable divorce. She doesn't want to spill all the tea, just because she can spill all the tea. She defended the fact that she doesn't share all aspects of her life. And just because she doesn't share something doesn't mean she's not aware of what's going on. Now, in this specific discussion, Meri addressed the fact that and the backlash that she doesn't or didn't see what was happening because of what we saw on the show about what was going on in the family, and true to Meri's sort of talking points on the show. She said that just because she didn't say anything about it doesn't mean she didn't see it, and just because she isn't immediately aware, she would see it on the show just like the rest of yous and no. But she said she wasn't blind what was going on with Kody and Robyn and with the family. But she also in a way kind of gave him a little bit afgrace because of check this out. Benefit of the doubt, like, oh, you're going through a midlife crisis and bind an hole. Okay, we'll wait until that passes, because I've had that moment. 2015. I had that moment, right. So like when I'm going through me own process of like, okay, I gotta figure my crap out, right, and then somebody else starts going through it. Well, I'm going to give them some grace and some space and let them figure their stuff out, and then we'll see if we can come together. Yeah, because right now, like I'm looking back at some of the stuff and I'm like, yeah, no wonder everybody wanted to shake me, but also, I had to get taught that place myself. Yes, I was not oblivious to what was going on, and I think I know that that's a huge thing with a lot of people. It's like, can't you see what's going on? You're so stupid. It's like, no, I can see what's going on. I also have my morals and my values, which says you know what, you made a comment. You figure it out. You don't just walk away when things get hard. So she thinks Kody was doing and I think they've brought this up on the show multiple times, and Thath hit a certain age and he felt like, he needed to do something different with his life, and he gets a woman that's, 10 years younger and he's going to be this big-time movie star or whatever, he thought he was, an actor, whatever. And he basically left the family for the Robyn. And I would think, just giving Meri grace and she says that we fill blanks in. Booty think that's kind of what you do when you watch someone is you respond to kind of what they're saying, and try to make of it, and I would think coming from the system that they came from and knowing how the women are taught to be so loyal and that these commitments, and the seal is for time and all eternity, I would think that, if you made a commitment, you and that's what you believed in, you would want to honor that commitment. Some people take those commitments more seriously than others. And it seems like Kody didn't take those serious. Kody also seemed to think that he got taught aside whether or not, a vow and a sealing was valid given on the behavior of Meri. Now, Meri claims that her catfishing was I just could be. I mean, she was an empty nest when it neased when Ethapond in her 40s and she was looking for something new in her life. And there's a lot of reasons why she could have walked away then she don't, and we'll never know why. But point I think that I resonate the most with her is that, when you're in a relationship, every onion, the outside, can definitely see what's going on. But if you don't see it, or if you're not ready to go or let go, there's nothing that anyone else can say make you leave. So, in that respect, I totally see where she's coming from. And I also understand the values of Justy. Made a commitment, and I thought that it could work out, and I thought we would stick together, and that's, ultimately, not what happened. So, I do understand that for sure. At one point, Meri seems to be kind of bothered in a way about Christine discussing with David her relationship with Kody and trying to understand it through the lens of reality of okay. So if I'm in this relationship, then this means this, or now that. I'm in a monogamous relationship, what experienced here wasn't actually what monogamy is like, or this is so different. I can't believe I didn't understand this. Christine seems to be a very verbal processor, and she likes to have people to talk about things and bounce ideas off. And Meri seems to have a issue with that. She thinks that it's comparing people. And I don't think that's what Christine's doing. I think Christine's actually trying to understand the differences of what she experienced. Which what most of you out here experienced because she had never been in a relationship with Simona as a monogamist. But this is what Meri's take was that. I'm not going to go into that wanting to talk trash about Kody or wanting to compare about Kody. I will use my experiences and what I learned from I tend be like, okay, I recognize this is how was treated or this is how things happen, but not well he used to do it this way, or you know what I mean, like what did I learn from it and how can I move forward? Not, let's talk trash like I have people who I have had to say, you know what I'm not interested in talking or just getting all the scoop or whatever and I've had to shut down conversations when there's a lot of questions being asked because then you know, I spoke to this woman one time thought was a plural wife and she once said to me, if I wasn't married to the same man that my sister wife was married to I probably would have been best friends with her. But when we started and we were in the family together, and there were jealousy IEs and insecurities and favoritism, and you start to deal with, you know, the pitting of the women against each other, and the competition off it all, you can no longer be friends with them because you're competing for the attention of the guy. And I sometimes think, you know, if Meri and Christine would have not married some person, I think they would have been friends because Christine, in my opinion, is a lot like Jen. And as much as she says Meri that she doesn't want to compare Kody to anyone else, every single person has that person that they talk through things. And in this last season, Meri spoke to her friends about Kody. No. Did she compare him to their men or to a relationship? No. But spoke to Jen about it. She spoke to women that were from the cult and now out of the cult. She spoke to her friend that lives in Vegas. She had many episodes where they spoke about her experience in getting out and what she went through. And that's, in my opinion, very much different than what Christine is doing with David. Obvious lifer. Christine. She feels the closest and the most able to talk to David about Kody. And because David understands pluggy and had sisters that lived in polygamy, he's probably very good at empathizing with what she's gonna through, and so for her, he's probably a safe person. Now is it happening publicly when they're doing this? Yes. Just wish sometimes that these women could see that they're more alike. That they're different and they actually have a lot in common and they've gone through the same experiences. And I also understand they have been through a load of trauma. I'm more than willing to bet that Christine endured a lot of traumas, the third wife. Because she was never the legal wife and her kids were illegitimate, and Meri had the super mestitis, and she has said repeatedly that Meri didn't treat her children well. And I also see Meri's position because she was the legal wife and her husband's philandering on her end, bringing all these kids into something, and she's being forced to deal with it and not allowed to have emotions. And sometimes I just think if that could actually get through that, they could probably be friends. But I just think there's too much there that they can't. And I think they both have ways that they deal with and I don't think either one of them is wrong. I speak to my husband about my ex-relationships. Iman, not anymore because we've been together for 15 years or 16 years, but you know what I mean. You go through that and you do talk about what happened in previous. Does it mean that you're comparing things? Not in a competitive way. You're just, this is what happened here. This is what happened here. Now I see what it means to feel safe, right? And maybe Meri has that with her friends that, you know, she was taught that she needed to be best friends with her sister wives. And you know, now she has friends and can see what unconditional love is with a friend, I suppose. But sometimes I wish that they could just see past all of it, but they're probably still too much in it because they watch each other talk trash about each other on a show, which to me would be extremely unhealthy for any kind of healing. She also then spoke about Robyn, but what about life with Robyn now? Is there a life with Robyn now, or not so much? No, not that much. No, yeah. You know, we talked about Ida a little bit in the tell-all about how, you know, there's just a little bit off distance, and I had said to her, no, I don't know how to be friends with my ex-husband's wife, and no, it's deeper than thought, you know. I really wanted to be in a place, and I'm not saying that we are not, or that we're not moving toward it, or we can't, or whatever. But I had multiple conversions with Kody just saying, no, what, we can do this in a kind way, we can have a kind divorce. You know, and it's kind of sometimes and sometimes not kind of a situation. Yeah, Meri spoke about how she doesn't see her band's kids anymore. She misses Solomon Bez, she was Solomon's buddy and she doesn't really talk to Robyn anymore. And right there, She said something, and you said, I don't know how to be not friends with my ex-husband's wife. Anthon, she sort of pivots too. I've talked to Kody before about having a nice divorce and not going this direction and it not being like this. And I guess the way that I take what she's saying there, and I could be wrong, but this is how I would feel, or say your ex-husband is treating you badly and you really wear close with his wife. But you're watching your ex speak horrible abu too, over and over and over and over again, and you're watching his wife enable it and not really say anything other than that's a them thing, that's an issue between them. That has nothing to do with me. That's them being them, they have their issues. Keep my name out of your mouth. And I would assume that there gets to be a point where you can't speak to Harry Robyn, without her running back to Kody and telling her. There would be no safety in that relationship. Anything thought she tells Robyn, Robyn will tell Kody. I mean, that's how marriages work. And if you keep secrets from your spouse, then that can be a whole other problem. And knowing that Robyn enables Kody, she would probably try to manipulate Meri to see things differently, like she had done for years, you know. Oh, Kody, just he's hanging on. Oh, Kody, he cares about you. Kody wants to be back together with you. Kody says loves you, that he misses you, all these things. Hang on with me. But then also maybe try to pivot and justify what's doing and make her feel like it's your fault. Well, if you were just doing this, or if you were just doing that, because they might be monogamous now, but in that culture, it's never the man's fault, no matter what. It's always woman's fault. And the women that live are always painted as bad, as villainous, as abusive, as evil and wicked and wrong and hurtful and awful. And the men are always painted with having sincere motives and benevolent, and the women that leave are they drive the bus over them. And so it would be hard to be friends with a wife of a man that's continuously backing up the massive bus and continually driving it over you, and over you and over you, and telling everyone thought you are unsafe and you're an abuser and blah blah blah. I don't think that I would want to be friends with that either. But it also would be hard in this respect, too, because I would assume that you had an expectation, maybe off that relationship was going to be like with your sister wife, and it turned out to be completely opposite, and you later find out that you know a lot of what she was saying to you publicly wasn't how she was feeling about you privately, or saying about you privately. And when Meri was talking to Tamron Hall, she did say that there was a ton of tension with her and Robyn, more so than anyone else. So I wonder sometimes what it is about Christine and her ability to kind of just call out Robyn for who she is, and what Kindoff holds Meri back from that. It could that Meri is more private. She's more careful with her words. I don't know. No, the reason why Christine and Robyn don't get along is because Christine sees Robyn for who she is, and Christine sees how Robyn has treated Meri, and maybe just Meri's loyalty is to a fault in that respect. I don't know. But if she needs to have a boundary where she doesn't talk to Robyn, I think that's good, because Robyn would be Theon that would try to drag her back in, because that's what Robyn does, or Makite, her fault. So that's what Meri had to say. Now, you can watch the whole video. I'll link it here on my YouTube. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you like me, and just hope one day that they can just find common ground, or do you think it's just there we're way past that and it'll never happen? Tell me your thoughts. Let me your thoughts below. Make Soretto give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Bye best.